My first week at Sunset Lanes, I kept having to tell customers that Lane 7 was closed. Again, the pinsetter jammed every third frame, scattering pins across the deck, and management had roped it off with a folding chair and a laminated sign. It had been like that for 4 months. The other staff just shrugged. That's Sunset, they said, like it was weather. I grew up in my grandfather's repair shop. He serviced jukeboxes, arcade cabinets, and the old pinsetters at a bowling alley 2 towns over. I'd been handing him wrenches since I was 9, so the tangle of chains and solenoids behind Lane 7 didn't scare me the way it scared everyone else. One dead Sunday afternoon, with the assistant supervisor Marcus running the floor and Dana the manager off for the day, I asked if I could take a look. Marcus said if I thought I could help, go for it. Nobody else was touching it. The problem wasn't complicated once I pulled the back panel. A sensor arm had bent just enough to misread the pins, and a sweep motor was choked with a decade of dust and shredded pin coating. I spent 2 hours cleaning contacts, straightening the arm, and retensioning the chain. Halfway through, people drifted over. Old Ray from the Tuesday League, a couple of teenagers who'd been waiting for a lane, Marcus chewing his thumbnail. Somebody started a bet on whether I'd get it running. When I hit the reset, the rack dropped, the sweep swung clean, and 10 pins stood perfect for the first time in months. The whole place cheered like I'd bowled a perfect game. We opened Lane 7, and it didn't miss once all night. Ray played 3 extra games just because he could. A dad slipped me $20 so his kids could keep bowling. Marcus told me I'd probably get a bonus. Regulars kept coming up to shake my hand, and for the first time since I'd started, the place felt like somewhere I belonged. I went home that night feeling like I'd finally done something right. The next morning, Dana was waiting in the office before I could even clock in. She had a face like I'd flooded the building. She slid a sheet of paper across the desk, a termination notice, dated 2 weeks out. "You tampered with equipment," she said, flat and cold. I told her I'd fixed it, that Lane 7 ran all night, that people were happy, that we'd made money. She pulled out a binder thick as a phone book. Sunset didn't own the pinsetters. They leased them from the manufacturer under a service contract that said only certified factory technicians were allowed to open those machines. By repairing it myself, I'd voided the warranty on equipment that cost more than my car. If corporate found out, the owner could be fined thousands, and if a pin ever flew loose and hurt someone, the insurance wouldn't cover a lane serviced by an untrained kid. It didn't matter that it worked perfectly. It mattered that I'd touched it at all. I kept waiting for her to say she was joking. She never did. Marcus tried to defend me. He said he'd told me to try. Ray heard about it and actually called the front desk to complain. It changed nothing. Dana said rules were rules, and I'd broken one that could have cost the owner everything. She made me work out all 14 days. That was the worst part. Lane 7 ran flawlessly the entire time. Every strike, every clean rack reminded everyone that I was being fired for the one thing that finally got fixed. Regulars kept asking why I was leaving. Some of them started bowling on Lane 7 on purpose, like a small protest nobody in charge would ever notice. After a while, I stopped explaining. On my last night, the Tuesday League chipped in for a card and slid it across the counter with a laugh. Inside, Ray had written a name and a phone number. His brother-in-law ran the regional company that services those exact machines. Certified, factory trained, and always short on people who already knew their way around a pinsetter. I called that Monday. The interview lasted 20 minutes. When I told him I'd been let go from a bowling alley for fixing a leased machine I wasn't allowed to touch, he laughed until his eyes watered. "So you can already fix them," he said. "You just needed our badge to do it legally." He handed me that badge 2 weeks later. Now I service every lane in 3 counties, including Sunset Lanes. Dana still runs that front desk. Every few months I walk in with my certified tech kit, sign her clipboard, and open the exact machine that got me fired. She has to smile and thank me for the visit, and she signs off on my company's invoice every single time.